In about 6 weeks, I return home from this crazy, amazing adventure to immediately start one of the biggest physically and mentally taxing challenges that I will probably ever do in my life. This challenge is going to consume an entire year, and I need to prepare. So while I'm on the road and constantly moving across Europe, not only do I need to enjoy my time here, I also need to prepare for when I get home, because I need to hit the ground running if I'm ever going to be able to achieve what I want to be able to achieve. So I have 43 days. Let's see if I can do it. The first thing is eating healthily. I have not been eating great on this trip, and that would be fine if I was on holiday, but I've been traveling for 9 months. This isn't a holiday, this is my life, and I've not been eating well. So that needs to change today. The second habit is meditating. I cannot tell you how many times I've tried to implement meditating into my daily routine, but I don't have a daily routine, so it hasn't gone well. But that is changing. There are so many benefits to meditating, particularly mentally, and I will need all of them to get through next year. Habit 3 is exercising. Next year is going to involve more exercise than I've ever done in my life, and probably will ever do again. Returning with a base level of strength and cardio will just make my life so much easier next year. Being on the road does make exercise quite challenging. Luckily, I have a skipping rope for some cardio, I can run, and I have a little micro workout that I can do at the base of any bunk bed in any hostel. So, my last habit is stretching. Like I said, next year is going to be the most I've ever exercised probably in my life. So I need a good stretching routine to prevent me from getting injured. But this habit has another component to it that has to do with motivation. You see, I've had the goal of achieving my splits since I was like 12. I remember being 12 and promising myself that I would have my splits by my 13th birthday at the end of the year. And it's been 7, almost 8 years, and I've never had my splits. I got close about 3 or 4 years ago when I was doing skating, but then I stopped and I backtracked completely. Now, if I can't stretch regularly enough to be able to get my splits, there is very little hope that I'm going to be able to achieve this massive physical challenge that I've set myself next year. So as a way to prove that I can do this colossal challenge, I am going to get my splits by the time I get home, or I'm going to come damn close to getting them. So solidifying these 4 things into my life now over the next month or so is going to help me so much in just hitting the ground running when I get home. And so I'm starting today. There's a lovely dock about halfway around the lake here in Lake Bled, and I thought that would be a nice spot to stretch and meditate. My plan is to do a nice slow casual run there, stretch, meditate, and then run back. What is killing that rooster? I've got a hat and some water, so let's go. It's so much busier today. Day 2, morning done. Did it in the dark. I'm doing it twice a day just because I know that I'll probably only get to it once a day. But if I'm thinking about doing it twice a day, then hopefully it will balance it out and I'll do it at least once.
It's shining through the light in you. It shines so true. The light in you.
Okay, so today is day 7 and it's going very well. I haven't really filmed a lot of it because I seem to always be surrounded by other people, like there's always people in the dorm. And I get a bit self-conscious, particularly when I set up the camera. And if I'm just doing it, then that's a little like, but it's okay, people just ignore you or want to talk about it, and I'm just like, I just want to do my stretching, just want to do my exercise. But when you have a camera, that just brings a whole bunch more questions that I don't want to answer. But it's going really well. Even last night when I stayed up chatting until like 11 p.m. with people, I still came back and stretched, exercised, meditated. Still got the rest of my trip to go, and hopefully I will return strong and flexible and confident in myself and my ability to stick to what I set my mind to. So yeah, it's going well. I only missed day 9. The rest I've been really consistent. And last night was the first time that I saw like a really big difference. I am actually getting quite a lot more flexible, which is good because I really needed that boost to keep motivating me.
And the city's on fire.
So it's been exactly 2 weeks and I'm so proud of myself. 2 whole weeks of doing this and I like doing it now. Like it was never hard, but now it's like I'm looking forward to it. And if I miss one, I'm like, I didn't stretch this evening. But I always meditate just before bed as well, and it's really helping me send me to sleep, which is nice. Like I said at the start of this video, I've wanted to get my splits since I was 12. Like that's when I set the goal to get my splits, and it's never happened. But I actually think that this is achievable. It's been 2 weeks and I've already seen a massive improvement in my flexibility. When I started, I couldn't really touch my toes. I could, but it was like painful. But now I can put my hands flat on the ground and just hold them there for a while, which is nice. Okay, that's a lie. It is still a little painful, but I can do it. And then splits wise, I can get like this calf muscle on my left leg, like on the ground. And there's a little gap on my right. And, that's the crazy thing. When you do like side lunges, I can put my forehead on my knee. I can get my arms on the ground. Like that's crazy. I could not do that 2 weeks ago. So it is day 20. And I have to say that the last 2 or 3 days haven't been great. But this morning was amazing and I think we're back on track. We got to yesterday where I just couldn't bring myself to do anything really for most of the day. I mean, I did go out and explore Berlin, but then last night I was like, no. So I meditated and then worked up the energy to stretch. And I'm really impressed with my flexibility actually. That's the thing that I can see the most change in because it's a physical difference. So that's kind of giving me motivation. So we still have a while to go, but we're getting there. It is day 22. This morning I had the best porridge I've had on my entire trip, and I have all the ingredients to make it again tomorrow. So we're at the end. I've actually been home for a while, but I thought I should kind of wrap up how this challenge went and whether I actually succeeded in what I set out to achieve. Now, unfortunately, I don't have my splits. I am a lot closer than when I started, but I still have a long way to go. However, I will get them, and we're getting a little tiny, minuscule part closer every day. Apart from that, I would say that this challenge of creating a routine over the last month of my trip was around 70% successful. I definitely fell off the bandwagon towards the end, and when I came home it did take me a little bit to get back into it, but in the last few days I've started building up a routine again, and I tell you, when you're not traveling, it is a lot easier to do. While traveling, I was also really making a point to make sure that this wasn't going to take away from my experience of traveling. Anyway, I had an amazing time traveling. I'm home, and I'm now starting my next big challenge. Over the next year, I'm going to be training for an Ironman, ultra triathlon, 3.8k swim, 180 kilometer cycle, followed by a marathon, so 42 kilometers. And it's gonna be a lot. And I'm glad that I started this month ago when I was traveling, because I think it has helped me get into the mindset. And it's just made me really think about how I'm spending my time, which is something I still need to improve on, because at the moment I just waste time. I would say about a 7 out of 10. Could have done a lot better, but I am proud of what I've done. On to the next adventure, I guess. Next challenge, starting right now. You'll see lots of videos about it over the next year. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time.
There's a heat wave rolling